Hi, welcome to the Culture Curators Podcast. We're here to share insights, information, and resources to help you become a more effective salon and business leader.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our podcast. Today's topic is going to be around debunking salon ownership myths. We have a lot to debunk.
Boy, that's the truth. You know, I remember when I was asked if I wanted to purchase a salon that I was managing, and I originally said no because I was fearful. However, when my husband and I started talking about it, I was like, how hard could it be? I already managed the salon. Was that was that wrong on my opinion? And at that point, I'm like, it just couldn't be that much
How
more
much different? How
difficult.
much different
I
can it
already
be?
managed the salon, and boy, was I wrong.
Well, it's very different when you're the one that cuts the checks. That's for sure.
Exactly.
For me, and I'm not even kidding you. I'm not even blowing smoke here. This is real. I really thought I was going to instantly make more money. I thought that. I thought, well, I'm getting this percentage in commission. That percentage is going to turn into 100%. So I'm going to automatically make more money. I remember saying that to my mom. This is like, the year in that I was like starting to build. I think I had already signed a lease or maybe right before that. And she was like, Derek, that's not true. You have to take into consideration your expenses. It's the same thing. Like I had a designer for my first salon as far as the layout of the space and stuff, which was also a big mistake. Although there are some great designers out there, I just didn't have the right one. But she was like, okay, she was showing me the floor plan and she was like, this is where your office will be. And I was like, what would I need an office for? I do hair. What are you talking about? Office. So you just don't know what you don't know. And if you're a personality like mine, you tend to jump off the mountain and put your parachute together on the way down. And, although that's not the best way, I don't highly recommend doing that on a consistent basis. I recommend really doing more research first, getting the facts, understanding, putting the emotion aside of the excitement. See, when you think about opening up a salon, you start to think about a lot of people, let me say, start to think about the way it'll look, the decor of it, how pretty it'll be, the stations you'll use. Honestly, all that don't matter compared to the things we're going to talk about today.
Right. I remember thinking it's not going to take much time. I already managed. It's not going to take a whole lot of time. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? I too thought that I was going to have a cash cow in my backyard suddenly, along with the money tree.
Yeah, pick right off
I
the
was just going to
branches there.
start picking that money off, and that couldn't have been further from the truth. Gosh, I thought that I could continue doing hair behind the chair as much as I was. That really didn't come to fruition.
You could, but could it be? Is it sustainable or a recipe for success?
No.
Or repetition or growth? No.
Yeah, it is a recipe for burnout. It's a recipe for not devoting enough time to your team to make them better. A team of two even can do more than me alone. So imagine a team of 5, 10, 20, whatever it is that you have can certainly do more collaboratively than me on my own. So a lot of myths that I had, a lot of misconceptions that I had that unfortunately I found out the hard way.
Yeah, and I think you have to know that when you go into owning a salon, and in this scenario, we're talking about a salon that has employees, or even for that matter, if you have a salon with renters, but we're going to kind of lean, as we typically do, more towards salons with employees in this kind of context. It's important to know that you are now the least important person in a lot of ways. Your name might be on that front door. That phone might ring the most in the beginning for you. But if you don't consistently start to make an effort from day one to kind of alter that and change that, you're going to find yourself very quickly realizing that you've created a job for yourself. You're not building a business or a brand. And in our opinion, we talk about this a lot. The definition of having a real business is that we can pluck you out of it and that it can sustain itself. That's a sustainable, established, foundational business, right? Now, it takes time to do that. And there might be times along your journey, this has happened to me, where, you've plucked yourself out and you better pluck yourself right back in because the business needs you more than it did at one point or another. But regardless, understanding the big picture. We also talked about this when it came to commission versus rental. If you are going to own a commission salon, you have to understand that you're going to need to lead, grow, and help people. And if you are me centric, that is going to be also a recipe to get yourself in trouble really quickly, because you're not going to attract either the right kind of people or really anyone that's going to want to work with you, because they want to see what's in it for them, and they want to see a path for growth and a career path for what it looks like for themselves. So I think if we start talking about some of the basic things that we can kind of look to that are popular thoughts going in, and then when reality smacks you in the face or punches you in the stomach, what the actual truth is.
Right. Well, I think, one of the things I go back to is thinking people are just going to follow me because I'm the boss. I'm now the owner. People are going to follow me. And John Maxwell calls that positional management, and it's the lowest level of leadership. People follow you because they have to, because you are the boss. Your name is at the bottom of the check, not the top of the check. You have the title of manager or owner. And gosh, I thought that meant everything. And in reality, it really means nothing. What means more is how you can help a person grow, how you can build that relationship with them, how you can help them to meet their goals. And does all of that take time? It sure does. It takes a lot of time. It takes education. It takes aligning myself or yourself with someone who's already walked that journey successfully. And I just thought I could just do it on my own, that it was just going to be easy peasy. And to me, this is a myth buster we're talking about, that it isn't easy, that it does take significant time, more time than you ever think
And more
it
money.
will take. It will take more money than you ever thought it would take. It'll take more tears, blood, sweat, and tears than you ever thought it would take. I don't want to scare anybody away. I don't want to be like, oh my gosh, you should never become an entrepreneur. You should never open up your business. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying, well, I think what our goal is today is to just shed some insight and light based on our experience of being entrepreneurs, of being salon owners. And your experience may be the same, it may be different. And if something we say today could help you not have the stumbling blocks that we had, that would be wonderful. I would feel accomplished.
And also, to be honest, if this scares you, then maybe salon ownership isn't for you.
Mm,
That's okay too. Maybe
yeah.
you stay in a role that makes the most sense for you and your business, I think, or in your life, because unfortunately, the natural progression of just the expectation, even of your friends, maybe your family, possibly your clients, definitely, they're kind of asking you what's next for a while. When are you going to open up your own? When are you going to open up your own salon? When are you going to, you need to open up your own salon, but they have absolutely no clue what goes into that. And if you're capable, to be honest, if you're qualified. Now, it's okay to not be qualified to do something, to go into it and qualify yourself along the way, but you have to realize that you need to qualify yourself along the way. What does that mean? That means constantly educating yourself. That means getting around the right people. That means asking for help. The smartest thing I ever did 6 or 8 months into owning was realizing, like, wait a minute, this is like overwhelming. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I've always known how a salon operates as far as client to hairdresser, but I have no idea how to look at a P&L. I have no idea how to manage expenses. I have no idea how to consistently hire and recruit. I have no idea how to create a consistent training program. I have no idea, dot, dot, dot. There was so many things I just didn't know. And honestly, even if you had gone to school to run a business, maybe there's some of that stuff, but it has nothing to do with salon specific. So, there's things within our industry that you can educate yourself on. We clearly believe in coaching. That's why we have a coaching company. And we always say, whether you coach with us or coach with anyone, that's really up to you. But getting help with people that have been there, people that have done that, getting mentorship and guidance along the way makes a whole lot of sense. And if this scares you away from it, then that might be the best decision you ever make,
Right.
possibly.
Right.
But it's not to deter you. It's to help you understand that you need to establish yourself and humble yourself very early. You didn't make it just because you opened up a salon. You're just starting. You're restarting your entire career on a whole different level, and you need to expect that there's a huge learning curve right away.
Yeah, yeah. I think the other thing is that there are going to be ups and downs throughout your journey. It is not a straight uphill or even slight uphill climb. It's going to be up and down and around and over and up and down. And it might be down. You might be down in a valley for a while and you might take a really long time to slowly build yourself back up. You might be on top for a little bit, but you never know what's going to happen tomorrow, and we have to plan for that. And so it's like, don't expect that business is going to be steadily growing month after month after month after month after month, that there's going to be some bumps in your road. There's going to be some bumps in your journey. It's not the time to throw in the towel when you get the first bump in your journey. It's a time to learn. And it's a time to grow. And lots of times when we're facing adversity, as we know that once we get out of that, something bigger and better is going to come from that. So, you know what? You struggle. You have moments of rejoicing. You have greater profitability at some points. You have lesser profitability at some points. You may have to put your own money into your business. I did. When I had a walkout, I had to put money into my business every single month. I knew that when I opened up my salon, when I took over that salon, I didn't realize that was going to be part of the deal.
Yeah, how can
I
you can't
mean,
see the future. You
right.
don't know what you don't know. And I think a lot of times I'll hear people either on social media. I mean, I think business owning in general is over I don't know what to say. It's over fantasized, I guess,
Mm.
um, because you're seeing the highlight reel. You're seeing an advertisement for someone that wants your business, or you're seeing someone that's like sharing all the great. I think the real people that, and there's plenty of them out there as well, that share the good, the bad, the ugly on social media. But a lot of times, and I know this was with me for a while, if I said something like, well, that hasn't really happened to me, it's more like you should say, yet, because you probably haven't owned the business long enough for that to happen. So whether that's a high level of turnover at one point in time or another, whether it's a walkout, whether it's just major struggles, like if you've just seen this like straight line on a chart of your business grow, 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 there's just the hard times haven't hit quite yet. They probably will at one point, and they'll show themselves in one way, shape, or another, and that's different for everybody. And listen, if you've never had any hard times, again, more than likely it's just the tenure that you've been an owner. If you're under 10 years, especially five, if you're up to 3 to 5 years, you're still just getting started. That's just the reality. And it's great if things are going well. You're starting off great. If you have a phenomenal momentum going on, maybe you have a great online presence that you established prior, and that's fueling, even hiring and bringing in clients. What a phenomenal job you've done. But that's not everybody's way. That hasn't happened for every single person. So one of the things is it's dangerous to start to compare yourself and ask questions like I was mentioning on, these Facebook blogs or wherever, when you don't have the full story and you don't have the full facts.
Right.
And another thing that I want to kind of close with myself, my final thought is you have no idea who you need to become when you first start. I had no clue how much I would have to personally grow to fulfill the dream that I had of building a brand and building a salon that had any level of success. And I had no idea the pain that it would take. I had no idea the sweat equity I would have to put in. I had no idea how many sleepless nights I would have, how nervous I would be, how happy I would be, how every single emotion possible in the human mind my salon would create for me, good, bad, ugly, and different. And you really have to prepare yourself for quite a ride when you decide to open up
Boy,
a salon.
isn't that the truth? And I'll tell you, show me a successful salon or business owner, and you're looking at someone who has had trials, who has had tribulations, who has had setbacks, who has had failures. And it's not about necessarily the failures, it's in what you do about the failures. It's about picking yourself back up and figuring out a new way. As Derek talked about, how he had no idea who he had to become as a business owner. We're constantly evolving as a business owner. We're constantly learning and growing. And every time we stumble, it's a new learning opportunity for us. It's a new growth opportunity for us. So, what are some myths that you feel we need to bust around salon business ownership? I'd love for you to write that in the comments below so that we can comment back to you.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Culture Curators Podcast. Please like, comment, follow, and subscribe.